Alright, so I'm going to go over the problems on the station's review to make sure everyone's on the same page. So if we take a look at the do now, which I hope you all had your notes, I'll go over it again just to make sure we're all on the same page. So whenever I give you a problem like this, you take all the x values, which is the domain, and plug it in to see your y value. So I'd plug in -4. -4 times -1/4 is 1, plus 1 is 2. So I put 2 down. 0 times -1/4 is 0, plus 1 is 1. 2 times -1/4 is -1/2, plus 1 is 1/2. Not sure what happened there. 1/2. 4 times -1/4 is -1, plus 1 is 0. And that would be my final answer. And it's proper to put those squiggly lines just to make sure we know that it's the set of those numbers. Now let's take a look at these problems. So if I have the first one, c to the third, which means 2 to the third, which is 8, minus 3b squared, b is -4, and square it. -4 squared. Do not do -4 times -3. We have to use PEMDAS, so exponents. -4 squared is 16 times our -3 gives me a -48. So we have 8 minus 48, which gives me a -40 for just this part. Then if I do the second one, 4 times a, so 4 times 3, and then in this parentheses is -4 minus 2, all over 2 times 6 minus 3. So we'll have 12 times -6 over 12 minus 3. So that's -72 over 9, which gives me a -8. If I add them together, -40 plus -8 is -48, and we would go to station 8. Obviously, I'm not on it. Let's see if it works. It does work. That's fascinating. So now we're on station 8. We want to determine if these are functions and make sure you can explain why. So if we look at the first one, it is not a function. Why is it not a function? Because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. If we look at the second one, is this a function? Yes or no? No, because the one of the x value, which is the domain, repeats. So if I was to put this into ordered pairs, it would be 1, 5, 1, 7. You can't have two of the same x values. So I would say no, x value of 1 repeats. And then we only want to look at the x values. If we look at the y values, they repeat, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. But if we look at the x values, none of them repeat. So yes, it is a function. No x values repeat. So we have a no, no, yes. So we would be going to station 4. This is where we have to show all our work. So I distribute, I get 6p plus 2 equals 2p plus 10. Subtract 2p from both sides. Why have a negative variable if you don't have to? We get 4p plus 2 equals 10. Subtract 2, we get 4p equals 8. So my p is 2. This problem we get 12y minus 15 plus 10 equals 31. Combine my like terms on the left. 12y minus 5 equals 31. Add 5 to both sides. We get 12y equals 36. So my y is 3. Last problem. We have 15z equals 12z plus 10 plus 3z. Combine our like terms. 15z equals 15z plus, this should be 30. Excuse me, I did not do that properly. 30. If I subtract 15z from both sides, I get 0 equals 30. Does 0 equal 30? No. So the answer would be no solution. We have to be careful. If we did get 30 equals 30, you have to tell me it's infinite solution. So be very, very careful with that. You want to make sure that you are labeling this properly, or we will get points off our test. So I got 2 plus 3, which is 5. So I'd be going to station 7. So I want to graph. So the way I'm going to show you how to graph is using the y-intercept and the slope. I know some of us have been taught it using a table. I personally prefer using this method, so I'm going to show you how it works. Let me get a different color. So we have y equals 3/2 x minus 5. Every single time you take the number that's not attached to the x and you go on the y-intercept and plot it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why does this work? Because if you plug in 0 for x, you get -5. So you can always plot that. Then my rise is 3. So I go up 1, 2, 3. And I go over 1, 2 because I'm running 2. And because it's positive, I go to the right. Up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. And so on and so forth. But we also have to go down. 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. And attach our line. Make sure you attach your line. For the next problem, I would start at 3. 1, 2, 3. And because it's negative, I go up 1 and over 4 to the left. Up 1 over 4 to the left. Down 1, 4 to the right. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to the right. So you got to make sure, this did not connect properly. Got to make sure that we're doing this in the correct manner. Station 10, solve each proportion, add up the solution. So we want to cross multiply. So we get 60 equals 20x. Doesn't matter which side you put it on. You can do whatever you want. Divide by 20, we get x equals 3. For this problem, it says to make 4 batches of cookies. We have 4 batches. You need 3 cups of chocolate chips. So if we have 16 batches, how many chocolate chips are we going to need? Cups of them. Well, all the cups are in the bottom, so you have to find out how many you need. So we get 4x equals 16 times 3, which is 48. Divided by 4, we get x equals 12. So we add them up. 12 plus 3 gives me 15. So I'm going to station 5. Now in station 5, we have to know our exponent rules. So make sure if we're struggling, we remember. When we have this problem, we do -5 times 4, which is -20. Then if we're multiplying together, we add the exponents. So 3 plus 2 is 5. If we look at this problem, we distribute the cube in. So 5 cubed is 125. A squared cubed, we multiply as a to the 6th. B to the 1st cubed is b to the 3rd. And 0 times 3 is 0. So it just goes away. And this is what we're left with. Then we have p to the 3rd, p squared. You got to know that these are being multiplied together. So we get p to the 5th, m to the 4th, and m to the 6th is m to the 10th. So let's see. The only one that has 125 is this one. We have our -20p to the 5th and our p to the 5th, m to the 10th. So our answer is going to be A. Station 2, the product of 10 times a number cubed. So we have 10 times a number cubed. And 2, but it says product, so we're multiplying. So we get 20n cubed. I used n as you could use x, doesn't matter. And then 4 less than a number times 9. So a number times 9 is 9n. 4 less than means -4. And then 7 more than 1/2 a number times 2. So 1/2 a number times 2 means 1/2 a number times 2, which is just n. And 7 more than that is +7. So I'd add all these together, 9n, and n give me 10n. I'm left with a 20n squared. 7 minus 4 is 3, so I'm on to station 6. All right, now we want to solve and graph the inequalities. When I told some of you in classes to act like in the beginning the inequality symbol isn't here. If we were going to solve this, how are you going to solve this using regular equations? Well, I would get all the variables on one side, all the constants on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4g from both sides. And I get, I hate when that happens, I get 3g. Oh, my computer's acting up. 3g minus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. Add 5 to both sides. I get 3g is greater than or equal to 12. So g is greater than or equal to 4. And then I put that on a number line. I could have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's greater than or equal to, you need to shade that in or you get points off. And because it's greater, we go this way. For this problem, we subtract 5 over, so we get negative 4b is greater than 20. When we divide by the negative, the sign switches, and we get negative 5. So I can do, obviously I would make this longer usually, but I don't have the room. So negative 1, negative 2, 3, negative 4, negative 5. Open circle on 5. Let's be really clear with that one. And because it's less than, we go this way. So we're looking for g is greater than or equal to 4, and b is less than negative 5, which looks like this one. All right, let's simplify. So we have to remember in these problems are PEMDAS rules. So PEMDAS says parentheses, exponents. So we got our parentheses here. Well, in there, we got our parentheses again. Oh, look, we have our parentheses exponent combination. So we're going to start with there. So negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which is 9. So we're left with 9 plus 4 on the inside. Parentheses, so 9 plus 4 is 13. And then we have our 20 minus 13, which gives me 7. But we can't forget the 3 on the outside, so we have to multiply that by 3, and we get 21. For this problem, we have PEMDAS once again, so parentheses, multiplication first, so 9 times 5 is 45, plus 4 gives me 49, divided by negative 7. Same thing down here. Inside, we do multiplication first. So we'll have 20 plus 12, which is 32, minus 12 gives me that original 20. And multiply that by 5, and we get 100. And I say subtract all these. So 21 minus a negative 7 is 28. Minus 100 gives me that negative 72. Station 9, we want to state the slope, subtract the answers. So like I said before, find the y-intercept. Count. I'm going up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. So we know it's 3/2, and it's going in the left direction. So we know it's negative. This one has an undefined slope because it's vertical. But if it's horizontal, that's a 0 slope. So you have to know the difference. If it's up and down, it's an undefined slope. If it's left to right, it is a 0 slope. And then we have 7/3. Anything in front of the x is always the slope. So if I give you y equals mx plus b, the m is always the slope, so you put that up front. And if you subtract those answers, you get negative 3/2 minus 7/3, which is negative 23/6. And we're back to station 1. So hopefully we've done them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we did them all. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and have a great weekend.